PHL17 presents Infocus, a look at the issues affecting the Philadelphia region.
Well, thanks for joining us for In Focus. I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall. Our focus today, inspiring stories and a New Jersey-based foundation, Go for the Goal, that's helping children battling pediatric cancer in our local communities. Go for the Goal helps thousands of young cancer patients and their families, from financial support to granting wishes, and there are many ways that you can get involved. Beth Stefanasi is with us. She is the founding director of Go for the Goal, and we are very glad that you're here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. You all are doing great work in the community. It's wonderful to learn more about what you do. And for you and your husband and your family, this mission, this journey is very personal.
Very personal. Yes,
Tell us a little bit about how you originally got involved, probably never thinking you'd be doing this.
Right. Well, of course. Back in 2006, our oldest child was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer. And at the time of his diagnosis, we found that we really had every piece of the puzzle to navigate this journey. My husband's a physician, so medically we understood what was ahead of us. We were a very quick 10-minute drive to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And at that time, for his disease, it really was the best hospital around. We had an army of friends and family to support us along the way. So we were blessed in a very unnatural and traumatic situation, and we started the organization as soon as Richard was diagnosed.
And this was in 2006, and we do
Correct.
have some video. We do have some pictures that you shared with us of Richard, and more on the story. And he, as I listened to the video, was an extreme athlete.
Yes, he was.
And this was in 2006 or so, and he was just 14.
Yeah, he was young.
Pictures of you and your family, and the really significant part as you were telling the story as well is that not only were you impacted by his loss and the loss of Richard, but also to find out about another diagnosis in your family.
Yeah, so 3 years after Richard passed away, my niece Blake was diagnosed with rhabdomyosarcoma, which is another sarcoma. And, you know, it was a second lightning strike for our family, you know, kind of unbelievable. I remember my sister-in-law calling me from the hospital and telling us that she had a lump on her arm and that they were biopsying it and that they were pretty convinced that it was cancer. So thankfully, Blake is 5 years post-treatment. She'll be 16 years old soon. And, you know, we're grateful for, you know, her successes, and you know, she was treated at Sloan Kettering, and you know, the remarkable team there. So, you know, my in-laws have had 2 grandchildren with pediatric cancers. So,
and that must be very rare.
Yeah, extremely rare.
And so to take that, everything that you learned, everything you went through, everything you have daily still come back from and deal with as a parent, turning that into a fuel, if I may put it that way, like no other.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's motivation. It is, you know, when Blake was diagnosed, it really helped fuel us even more so with our organization. So.
I want to talk about some of the things that you do. It's really a number of prongs to this, and you actually help hospitals and facilities. We do have some more pictures too to show and underscore what you do. So you have here, let's go through this. This is Cards for Kids.
Yeah,
really
this is
cool.
A great program. One that is in 22 hospitals nationwide. In our backyard of Philadelphia, we have one at St. Christopher's and also Nemours. And really for us, it was about providing distractions for kids that were in the hospital. Not just for the patients, but siblings, cousins, friends.
And picking something off this card,
right.
Not just anything. Cool stuff that's useful stuff.
Trendy stuff that kids want. And also stuff that provides distractions. The neat thing about this program is that it's turned into something more than just a distraction for the families. Hospitals are using it as a teaching tool for new, whether it's a child life or a new team member in the hospital. it gives them a way to have a conversation with a patient and kind of break the ice.
And communicate.
And communicate.
At a time that is
Yep.
extraordinarily difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
And emotional and painful and sad.
Yep,
for a lot of
exactly.
parents.
The other times it's sometimes used as a bribe, which we hate to say that, but
You're being honest.
Right. If a patient is, nervous about a treatment that's coming up, or if they can't eat because they have a treatment coming up, the hospital will use it to kind of help distract them from what's
So
ahead
glad
of them.
that that's there. And actually, for anyone who thinks, well, that's great, it's in 2 locations and hospitals near us, so happy to hear that. But that's not all. This is something that has actually spurred the same type of program in many places across the country. I just want to mention that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in hospitals, in over 20 hospitals across the country. Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, a few hospitals in Texas, some up in the northern part of New Jersey, as well as New York. So we've got quite a few.
I want to talk about St. Chris's.
Yes.
And I know certainly as a reporter covering stories there and talking about organ donation and different things like that. Great facility. And this, what we're looking at, is a renovation.
Yeah, this was really exciting. This was a infusion clinic that we just recently opened at St. Christopher's. And it was well worn, the clinic. It was outdated, and we were given a grant from Pepperidge Farm, and it was a significant grant, but not enough to renovate an entire clinic.
So what's the contribution that you all helped to
From
raise
PF?
from this?
They gave us a $30,000 grant, and it helped. So we went in with the funds thinking we would do kind of like maybe an electronic update, but when we saw the facility, we felt, this really needs a little bit more.
But overall, it came out to much more than that.
Yeah, about
What was the total
$350,000
to actually renovate that space
So,
and to be the benefit of not only a great functional space, but also something that can be utilized in a number of ways.
right, exactly. Well, it is their infusion clinic. So what we did is we did the reception area, the desk where patients check in, the triage part of that, as well as the infusion clinic. And then there was a nook at the end that we made a teen area. So it's
wonderful.
strictly for the teen population there.
Let's talk a little bit about, for someone that, may never have met someone with pediatric cancer, but how many people can say they haven't known someone with cancer?
I think unfortunately in this day and age,
the numbers are staggering.
Yeah,
still.
everyone's touched
And I
by
wanted to
cancer.
talk about, therefore, the numbers that you talk about of kids that are diagnosed. The number that I saw here was 15,000 will be diagnosed with cancer. Is that this year? Tell us about that. And there's some ways that you actually quantify that, even with 2/3 of pediatric cancer patients have long-standing chronic conditions. Tell us, the human toll is tremendous, but
and
also the numbers.
I think that's a piece that often gets lost because when anyone is diagnosed, you're in the moment and you're not really looking so much past it. And when I mean so much past it, you're looking for end of treatment, of course, but you're not thinking 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road where there are, some long-term effects. And they could be something that is, a little bit of brain fog that you might have down the road. It could be something that has to do with more significant issues, whether it's, heart issues, kidney issues.
And that's going to require help and assistance.
Correct.
Not only today, but you're saying down the road.
Correct,
so
exactly.
You're continuing, and
Yep.
that's why we're going to talk about this throughout the show in terms of helping folks in community and knowing that it's going to take some time to
Correct.
help those families.
Correct.
And that's a big mission, a part of yours as well. We'll continue to talk about that throughout the show. And coming up next on In Focus, a student athlete from Haddonfield, New Jersey that survived a rare form of bone cancer and his lower leg being amputated makes tremendous strides on and off the field to raise awareness. His uplifting story coming up. Stay with us. Infocus continues now. Thank you for being with us. I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall. Pediatric cancer is a very big topic in our focus today. Beth Stefanacci is back with us from Go for the Gold. And joining us now is Jason Garkowitz, who is now a senior at Haddonfield High School and was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer in 2011. Thank you, Jason, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. And also, Beth, talking to you has been very inspiring. And so for you to come today and also join Jason as well is a big deal, because this is a big deal, him being here and being well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, what we love to see is a success story. And I think Jason is really the epitome of a success story.
I think we're actually making him blush a little bit here. We're here kind of just so happy to know that we can talk about what this mission, as you said, looks like through and through for folks who struggle with it and some who lose their life to pediatric cancer. And as you said, the epitome of what we hope for every young person, which is to be here and be well. Jason, you're fresh off of a trip, a senior class trip. So, congratulations on senior year.
Thank you very much.
And we have some pictures of you, because when I was reading about you and learning more about your story, not only are you just a great young man from what everyone has told me and as I'm learning more about you, but you got a lot of heart. My kids play football, the oldest, even in college. It's no joke to play.
Definitely not.
And you took this on. You were diagnosed in 2011 with as we said, a rare form of cancer. You didn't let it stop you. Tell us, what is it like seeing those pictures again?
It's unbelievable to think that I made those accomplishments. When I first went into starting to play football and restarting my life kind of over, I never pictured that I would be able to see myself in a photo catching a ball and running down the sideline. That idea never crossed my mind. I just wanted to go back out and just hope to feel like a normal kid again.
Just to be able to be well and feel like you could go to school, walk through the hallways. Needless to say, you played lacrosse, scored goals, got out there with your team, did workouts, but I guess I also want to underscore there were probably days when it was not easy.
Definitely. Not every day was simple. Just going through the basic motions at first, like waking up and trying to relearn how to walk and run again and make myself feel like I'm a normal kid.
What we're seeing in these photographs.
Exactly.
And the struggle is very real. I mean, those photos show us a glimpse into that. But were there days where you said, I really got to fight my way back?
Yeah, and most of the days were more mental than it was physical. Kind of my confidence level definitely was lower than it has been. You don't feel like the same person you once were, and you don't look like the person who might be standing next to you.
Yes.
So regaining that mental confidence to go back out and back into high school and back into sports was one of the toughest parts.
What was it like when you first heard about the diagnosis and then were told that it would require you to have the surgery?
Being as young as I was only 12 years old right when I first found out about this, or I just turned 13. And it really didn't hit me right away being so young. Initially, I just kind of thought like I would just have to go in the hospital and take certain treatments and I'd be good. Yes. But once the surgical options came up, I really had to mature quickly, because the decision I was going to have to make was going to change my life forever, in the good or the bad. So that was one of the toughest parts. Finding
out that a portion of your right foot would have to be removed.
My life was so oriented around sports and activities that this decision had way more pull than it would have for someone else.
And what made you say, I'm going to continue to live my life the way I had, meaning sports, activities? Was there a moment where you said, I don't know if I can do that, or you said, this is exactly what I'm going to set out to do?
Kind of right that day after surgery, I set goals. Like, I wanted to go back to sports. I wanted to go back doing the things I love. I wanted to be out there with my friends, participating in just pickup sports to organized sports to high school sports.
As a parent, I would have been saying, oh my goodness, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
sure it was a little bit of that.
Definitely,
at
my
home
parents
too.
were definitely more nervous than I was.
Yeah, it's so wonderful to hear your story. It's one that I'm going to say that looking at the pictures I've seen, you didn't go through alone. Your parents, your family, and support from your school. We have some
Yes.
laces here. Beth, tell us about that and how in the world these laces translate into helping wonderful young children like Jason.
So
grab a couple of those.
Yeah,
They're-
absolutely.
that's,
So back in 2011, we started Lace Up for Pediatric Cancer, which is a way for athletes and student athletes to get involved. The color represents the color for pediatric cancer, which is gold. And for us, it was about student athletes. Actually, it was born in the soccer community up in North Jersey for a way for them to give back to one of their own. And what we found very quickly is for a $5 pair of lace, it was very easy for parents and coaches to bring this to their players and to get them involved. And when we became involved with Jason, which was, I think, right after the new year in 2012, because he was just diagnosed, I think the week of Christmas that year. So what we found was that not only did his lacrosse team want to get involved, but the entire community of Haddonfield. And you know, there were laces everywhere. They were in hairs, they were on belts, they were hanging from rear view mirrors. Girls were braiding them, you know, into ponytails.
Jason, what did you think when you saw this?
It was incredible knowing that there was so much support from me, and not only me, but other people going through similar situations as me. It made me feel really good to know that I wasn't alone.
How has that part changed your life? You just spoke about the tremendous struggle and days when you found out this diagnosis, and then you worked your way back through getting back involved in your daily routine. What has it done to change your perspective or enhance it in terms of how you view the world around you?
Well, before I was diagnosed, you're not introduced into the world of pediatric cancer. Like, you might hear about a few things on the news, but once you get diagnosed, the world opens up. You really see like the true, or how many kids are being affected by pediatric cancer a day. And I think that really left a lasting imprint on me, and that knowing that there's so many kids affected by what I'm being affected by, and that somehow needs to change, or their life could be improved by a simple fundraiser like this, and people getting behind them and helping them get through whatever the troubles they have. That's one of the big things that left.
You are now taking up also this torch and being an active voice out there. How important is that to you, that you actually come and talk to people like myself and others in the community? This is now going to be something, I'm assuming you may take this on in the future. What do you want to do with what you've learned, and how can you help?
I just want to be kind of like someone for kids to turn to be able to come and talk, and just know that nothing's impossible, that they can always, no matter what they're going through, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, that to never give up fighting, to keep staying strong. And I think that's really important to get that out, because I was lucky enough to have a great support group between Go for the Goal, my family, my friends, the town, all of New Jersey and the Philadelphia area. I was able to see how much people supported me. I think that really helped me mentally.
And now you're paying it forward.
I feel like that I should be able to pay that forward and get that out to other kids who might not be doing
All right,
well.
college next?
Yep.
One chosen?
Yeah, not quite.
All right.
You can make the decision now.
Well, whatever it is, we could get actually, exactly right. We could actually get a sneak peek into that. Whatever it is, we know that you will be great. Thank you for being with us, and congratulations on all you've done for your senior year. We're not done yet here, though. Coming up, we're joined by two students that helped Jason and others in the fight against pediatric cancer. Hear how two of his classmates helped raise nearly $20,000 for Go for the Goal since their freshman year. You're watching Infocus on PHL17. Stay with us.
Yeah, I mean, anyone here right now, I'm sure, knows someone either very close to them or a friend who is going through cancer or has lost a fight to cancer or want to fight. So anything that promotes unity and togetherness, especially in a high school atmosphere, is always a plus.
And Tom Kelly speaking there from Williamstown High School, a teacher and coach at that high school, talking about the Lace Up program and how that's getting people involved for pediatric cancer. In Focus continues now. I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall. Two amazing students are with us now. Not only did they support their classmate at Haddonfield Memorial High School, they are also seniors and student council members who helped raise nearly $20,000 for Go for the Goal since their freshman year. We have a bunch of folks with us for this segment. We're excited about that. Karen Flint, you are with us from Go for the Goal. You are the athletic director. We've got Maggie McCutcheon with us and Caitlin Bonnet. Congratulations on being seniors and the next steps, and thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to have you guys here and to take time out to join us. You have been an integral part of helping not only your classmate, Jason, whom we met, who was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer and was here. He's a cancer survivor and also doing so well. But you got involved in a big, big way. We're going to talk about the program with you, Karen, and why these laces that we're holding in our hands are so, so important, for folks who want to get involved at home. This is the Lace Up for Pediatric Cancer program. I want to start, though, with you, Maggie. Tell me how you got involved, why you got involved.
Right, so at Haddonfield Memorial High School, we hold a Spirit Week each year. And in that, each grade picks a charity that they will raise money for through a series of different events and fundraising. And with Jason just beating cancer in middle school, it was an obvious choice that we would go with Go for the Goal. Everyone in the town was already connected with it. It was just it was a good fit. And so we picked that charity our freshman year, and we've stayed with it. We haven't changed our charity throughout all 4 years. And throughout all 4 years, we've raised about $13,000. And the entire school actually raises an average of about $20,000 to $25,000 for 4 various charities. So it's a huge undertaking. That is, and it's a huge way to say you can help to change lives and help families. Yeah, all run by students. That's so impressive and so wonderful. We're talking again about your classmate and therefore colleague, Jason Garskowitz, who was with us. And he told his own story, and it was so compelling about his diagnosis at such a young age, but also his fight back to the things he loved to do. Tell us about why you decided to get involved, Caitlin. You're also a senior, and it sounds to me like everyone has grown to be really close.
Exactly, and we actually all went to elementary school together, so we've known Jason since we were in first grade. And in middle school, when he was diagnosed with cancer, the entire town and community and even neighboring towns came together, and we all rallied and bought shoelaces and helped out in any way possible. So thankfully, Jason came out on top and survived cancer. But in high school, when we were able to pick a charity, we thought that it would be really special if we were able to give back to other people. So since so many people came together to help our friend and a family in our town who was really special to us, we thought that it was more than appropriate and that it would be wonderful to help out and give back to other people who are also fighting cancer.
I can't say it any better than that. Karen, these wonderful students have really done their part in a big way that will have a lasting impact, I'm sure.
Absolutely. It's great to have the Haddonfield community involved and so many other high school, middle school, elementary school communities involved across the country, making a difference because there's so many kids who are going through, this terrible illness.
Tell us about some of the programs too, because we've been able to talk throughout the show about Go for the Goal, how it also helps hospitals with grants and renovations, particularly in our area, St. Christopher's Hospital, and doing a number of things from cards to kids. But this Lace Up program, this is something that a lot of kids, whether they compete on the court or the hardwood or on the gridiron, it seems to me that it brings them together in a way.
Yeah, it does. Well, if you think of it, it's a way to kind of tie it all in, and it's tough when you're this age and you don't know what to do. How do you it kind of hits you like a deer caught in headlights. How do you show your support? What do you do to support your friend who's sick? So many kids are playing sports or involved in activities, and if they can get involved in selling these shoelaces or raising donations, and it's a way that they can just show people, this is what we're doing. It's
and it
visible.
seems so, in a way, it seems so simple,
It is.
But I think that's the power.
It is. Yep.
In the pitch.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
that
it's so simple.
It's so simple. You don't have to be aligned with any school in particular. Everybody can wear this color.
Everybody
and
wears
it's a
shoes.
unifying force. So with Lace Up, this is a couple of different initiatives. So I know there's a few initiatives that you all take part in, but tell us more too about how people at home can get involved. What can they do?
So, they can certainly always go and donate on our website, www.go4thegoal.org. We can get elementary, middle schools, high schools involved in National Pediatric Cancer Awareness Day, which is always the last Friday in September. And then we also have another initiative called a Spring into Action for a Cure. Can get schools involved, and that doesn't have to be athletics. Just get schools involved that way. And the laces are kind of that central piece.
And they're, what is it, $5 a piece?
$5 a piece with $4 from each pair going back to help these kids and their families, plus 100% of all donations.
According to some statistics on your website, it says here that 2 classrooms of children are diagnosed with cancer every day. It's the #1 killer of kids by disease. That's one of the statistics that you have on the website. I think there's no better proof than how you take, that type of number and turn it into a positive energy, as you all are doing, and it's just tremendous. Congratulations to you, and I'm sure you're going to carry this forward as you move on.
Definitely.
Oh, what a great
Thank
opportunity.
you.
Karen Flint, thank you so much for being here. And again, that website is
www.go4thegoal.org.
All right, let's hit that one out of the park as well. That'll do it for us here. I'm Jennifer Lewis Hall. Please join me again on Monday morning starting at 5 a.m. for PHL17 Morning News. On behalf of all of us here at PHL17, have a great weekend.